Zimmer, who pulled up rain in the warm-up beforehand, but has been passed up to take his place in West Ham's starting 11. International Managerial. Thought that he might be getting his first start in the Premier League for this one.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to KUMBTV's Eyes Up Mother Brown. We are back for another Premier League big one between West Ham United and Leicester City. It is the last game of the Premier League until the break for the World Cup completes. Our first game, or our last game, should I say, until when is it? December the 26th, of course, Boxing Day. The next time West Ham will play against Arsenal, that one. Now, let's see if we can get started on here. There we go. First one up. I'm not alone. I'm not alone. You will be pleased to hear. Just bear with me 2 seconds and I shall get my fellow correspondent up on the stream very shortly. There he is. Nick, can you hear me? Come in, Nick. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good.
No, frog in my throat, sorry. I've just lost my bloody stream.
Oh, okay. Well, I can tell we've just kicked off on mine.
Yeah, no, I've just kicked off. As soon as it kicked off and you went live, that was it. It went.
Typical, mate. West Ham United v Leicester. Big game today, Nick, for more reasons than one. Important today that we get off to a good start, really.
Important today with Streamworks.
That would help. That would be good. That would be very good. But anyway, the teams, you can see the teams. They're above our heads up there. Just a bit of a technical thing going on in a second. Oh, there we go. Right, so up there you've got West Ham. Lucas Fabianski at the back, fullbacks Kehrer and Cresswell, Dawson and Zuma in at centre half. Declan Rice and Tommy Soucek restored to the team today behind Bowen, Paqueta and Benrahma with a striker of Gianluca Scamacca. And Scamacca already nearly involved in the early stages. Jared Bowen as well. No Michail Antonio today in the West Ham squad. So Scamacca, we are pinning our hopes on this afternoon. Nick, how you doing? Any luck with the stream?
No.
Nothing yet. Okay, well, I'll keep going. There's just over 90 seconds gone so far. West Ham on the front foot. You know, we were saying it. Well, it's important we get off to a good start today. This has been sort of the problem with for a lot of people with a lot of our games. I would say in recent weeks, but this season really, isn't it, altogether?
Yeah, I mean it's not been great, has it, this season? Without meaning to go, look at me. I called it early. After the first couple of games, I had that feeling that it was going to be one of those seasons. And do you know what? I'd rather be sitting here with egg on my face and us sitting in like 6th, 7th, 8th and doing well and everybody happy rather than, you know, unfortunately, the prediction coming true.
Yeah.
But, you know, we've all been here before, haven't we? You know, when it gets that vibe of, hello, we're generally right. So, yeah, it is a weird one this season, though, isn't it? When we've got the World Cup, and you know this ridiculous break. You know, and I suppose if it goes quiet throughout the game, which is very quiet here because I don't have a bloody stream, you know, that's maybe something we can talk about. World Cup should be in a beer garden with your top off, with your mates, and not huddling indoors.
Yeah,
it don't feel like it's a World Cup.
No, it's very strange, isn't it? Yeah, I think you said earlier in the forum, didn't you? You know, you're usually preparing the Barbies and you know getting the tins out at this time of, well, not this time of year, but for the World Cup, and it just doesn't feel right, does it at all? It's very odd.
No, not at all. Corruption and blood money's won the day, which, you know, I think, as again I said on the forum, all this stuff of taking the knee and whatever else that has gone on previously. I think it kind of makes it all pointless, the fact that the FAs have now said, yeah, okay, we'll still go to this World Cup to a country that has got such an awful human rights record, and yet just don't sit right. Doesn't sit right with me at all.
No, I think that's a view held by an awful lot of people from what I've been reading in recent days. But anyway, it does start next week, and as we were saying, this is our final West Ham United game until Christmas. We will be coming back for 1 or 2 streams, maybe a few more during the World Cup. So feel free to come and join us on Eyes Up Mother Brown for 1 or 2 of those if you fancy a bit of company, or if you're at work. And do you know what? This is how invested I am in the World Cup finals. I don't even know what time the games are. Are they late? Are they early? Are they in the afternoon? Does anybody know? I don't know. Nick, any ideas?
No, I haven't got a clue. It's not something I've taken the time or much like yourself, the time or the inclination to actually find out. It's just not relevant to me.
No, I've got a feeling they're later in the afternoon. I could be completely wrong. That's a guess, but anyone, I'm sure someone on the stream will fill us in on that anyway. But just to fill you in what's going on at the London Stadium right now, it's 5 minutes gone. It's still 0-0. Leicester, I hate to say this, but Leicester are looking the better of the 2 teams after that early opportunity for West Ham, which Bowen surged into the box. Yuri Tielemans just had a shot from about 20 yards, which Fabianski not closed down, given space on the edge of the box and able to pick his spot. He looked to go to the bottom left, and fortunately for West Ham, Lucas Fabianski was up to the task of saving it. Hang on, Bowen's looking to surge into the box. It's a good tackle by the defender, but Thomas Souček's done well to pick it up. Puts a great crossing for Skamaka, but it's well dealt with by, I'm not sure who that was. One of the defenders, anyway, managed to get to the cross ahead of Skamaka, but better from West Ham anyway.
I have a stream. What timing are you on?
5:37.
Oh, blimey, I'm a minute behind you.
Okay.
Right, yeah, that's kind of cool, isn't it?
All right, no worries. But anyway, we have a throw-in down by the Leicester right corner flag. Kera throws it in. It's headed on by Thomas Souček, but it's straight into the hands of Danny Ward, who clasps it gratefully and looks for options. 6 minutes gone, West Ham 0, Leicester 0. Both teams going in to this game in a slightly worse position, Nick, than both West Ham and Leicester would expect to be at this point of the season, you think?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. However, it seems that Leicester have, going by their results, I've not seen them play or what their performances are. It seems like they are turning the corner. We've had the false storms thus far of a couple of wins. What was it, 4 wins? When we think it's turning the corner. But yeah, nothing really that is showing up to show that we are turning a corner. I didn't see the entire game last week against Palace, but the bits I did see, we looked like we did under Grant, under the end of Zola's reign, under the end of what's his blooming name, Pellegrini's reign. It was like we didn't have a clue what we were supposed to be doing. Right. And I think that's what is quite frightening this time. It doesn't. We don't look like a David Moyes side at the moment. We look like a side that's disjointed.
Yeah.
Now my stream, I can't find a volume to turn it down. Oh, it's got to be.
Okay, no worries. What are you thinking score-wise today?
2-1 to Leicester.
2-1 to Leicester.
Yeah.
Not a lot of confidence amongst the team then. Nick going for a 2-1. Just going back. Of course, Nick, you did say that right at the top of the stream. Because Leicester in an advanced position. The great ball for Harvey Barnes. He's into the box. He's got him behind Kera. Kera stands up this time, not diving in. That's good. That's better. Ball played back. It's a real chance. But, this is dangerous. And Leicester ahead. Leicester ahead. And it's James Maddison. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear.
And there we go.
Yeah, Leicester breaking down West Ham's left. It was Harvey Barnes, great player for them, who actually well marshalled initially by Thilo Kehrer, but managed to pull the ball back. I think it was Dewsbury Hall who laid the ball across. Somehow managed to squeak out to Maddison on the opposite side of the goal and just picked his spot, buried it into the top of the net. Now, there is a VAR check on Barnes. He's not offside, though. I don't think it's going to be disallowed. Let's have another look. Is there anything we could have done better here?
I've got no idea if his stream's died.
Yeah, I mean, it's Dakar. The ball was rolled across by Dewsbury Hall to Dakar, took a swing, completely missed it, and it actually threw West Ham. The defence, they were kind of lining up for the shot to come in. And somehow it's managed to go right across Zuma, across to Cresswell, and coming at the far post is Maddison, completely unmarked. He's got in between, just got behind Cresswell, and he's picked his spot from no more than 8-9 yards out. Fabianski, no chance, buries it into the roof of the net, but we're behind again. What's that, Nick? Number 11, I think, is it this season? Behind for the 10th or 11th time already in just 15 games. The atmosphere is not good at the London Olympic Stadium.
No, it's not. It's going to be a long afternoon, I think. Because already in a short space of time since the goal, it just seems to be Leicester coming forward.
Yeah, and Barnes again on the left-hand side. Dinks one over to the far post. This time Zuma's managed to get ahead in it, but Leicester, West Ham are camped inside their own third at the moment, and Tilo Kerr has managed to nip the ball off Barnes here, and Souček has got the ball right on their own touchline and does really well actually to win a throw-in by clearing the ball, and it clips the head of a Leicester player. But it's a desperate start by West Ham once again. No better than we've seen in recent weeks, and it could be a tough break this for Mr. Moyes, Nick, if we lose this game.
Well, without a shadow of a doubt, I mean, it's just comical to a degree, really. Not that it makes you feel like laughing. We've been here, we've seen it, we've done it. Come on, it's that vibe. It's that vibe. What is going on the training pitch? They don't look like they know what they're doing, what they're supposed to be doing, who's picking up who, etc., etc. What's happening with here they come again. This doesn't look like a David Moyes West Ham team. That's what I don't get. No. That's what I don't get.
Yep, something desperately wrong at the moment, and you can only hope that the enforced break gives us Moyes the opportunity to work out a solution, because you get the feeling that just having another look at the goal again, and I mean, no one is picking. Absolutely nobody has picked up Maddison. I'm gonna fault Cresswell for that one. Just not picking the guy coming in behind him. But to be fair, I'm not sure if it's Paqueta maybe. Sort of stood there watching him 3 yards away. Could have perhaps picked him up. Might not be Paqueta. Might be being a bit harsh. But there was another player there. Have to have another look at the replay. But anyway, Maddison proving why he should be on the plane to Qatar next week, unlike one of our own, Jared Bowen, who isn't. Any surprises there, Nick, to not see Bowen going?
No, none at all. No. Looks like Zuma's broken as well. Just to top the day off.
Yeah.
Pulled up in the warm-up, didn't he? He's now down again with his knee, getting treatment. Well, at least we might get to see it good. There he comes.
Yes, indeed. Ogbonna and Agerd, both on the bench today for West Ham. But 12 minutes gone, no good. I was running through your predictions actually as Leicester scored. But Dan went for a 3-1 defeat. Dan beat Polaroid's going for a 1-1 draw. Metal in both legs for a 3-1 win for West Ham. Hobo a 2-0 defeat. Dan B a 1-0 defeat. I think you said that earlier, didn't you, Dan? Hobo, Hobo just saying one down. So no one predicting a West Ham win, which you're all kind of going to be right the way it's going, but. Let's see what happens. There's a long way to go in this one yet, and we shall see. There are 13 minutes gone anyway. It's West Ham 0, Leicester 1. The only goal of the game coming from James Maddison, England's James Maddison.
I'm actually ahead of you now, then, by the looks of it. If you're on 13 minutes, because I think I'm on about 14 something.
Okay, then you'll be ahead.
That's usually how numbers go.
Just saw Bowen take a whack in the Achilles. You'd have seen it about 60 seconds ago. Yeah, as you said, Zuma's down. Looks like he's had enough to me.
Yeah, he's off. Edward. Yep. He's what's his name? Nathan is now on.
Nate.
yeah. I'm just hitting the 15-minute mark now.
All right. Well, you're nearly 2 minutes ahead of me then, so I shall defer to you for any updates.
That means I've got to actually watch this rubbish now.
It does, unfortunately. Unfortunately, it does.
And while see, we missed out as well. There was a lull in play there, and we could have just said, hit the like button, do your match
Yes.
afterwards.
All right, I've actually managed to swap streams, and I'm on 1537 now. So
That's all right. You're 10 seconds ahead of me.
Brilliant. Well, and it's just stuttering. So we're going to be. We might even be spot on here. This will be good for a change. Again, he's on anyway. His first Premier League appearance, I think, Nick.
It is indeed, isn't it? Or did he come on? Oh, I don't know. I haven't got a clue.
He's played twice in Europe, hasn't he? He's played the last 2 games, but unless he came on against Palace last week, I missed the game. So I didn't see it didn't happen, but I don't think he did. But anyway, what are your thoughts on playing these players that go into the World Cup next week? Do you think there's any possibility that they might, not give 100%?
I don't think they would probably be doing it subconsciously. I don't think Declan would. No, let's get that right. I don't think they would do it consciously, but subconsciously,
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Potentially they may be playing with their foot not down on the gas properly. But
they've always got to have that in the back of their mind, Nick, haven't they? That if they get injured today, that's their World Cup over.
Yeah.
I make you absolutely right. I think you're right. I think they won't deliberately go out there and play beneath themselves. But
I've just gone back to 9 minutes and 21. I'm doing time travel. My stream has just gone back to 9 minutes and 20.
Oh, okay.
And I haven't pressed anything.
You'll be seeing the goal right about now then.
No, it's already happened, thankfully.
Oh, they've scored, have they? Let's have a look at some of the comments so far. AG Afghanit's ex-missus says apparently Zuma pulled up during the warm-ups to wide risk him. Fair point. Hobo Changba says, I'm quoting Joan Armour-Trade now. There's a new one for the stream. It was fun while it lasted. And Chiro Tricoli saying Skamaka 2 alone in attacking phase. Yes, as has been the case for a lot of his West Ham career so far. There were a lot of similarities made with Sebastian Haller, weren't there, Nick, in the week on the forum, saying how he's beginning to look a little bit like that. But not being at the races,
I don't think he's looking particularly like Haller.
Yeah.
I think they're 2 entirely different types of player. I just don't think our manager knows how to use him. That's the only comparison I think there is between Skamaka and Haller, is that our manager is too, how can I put it, too one-dimensional. The only decent things he's done regarding players and getting the best out of them was converting Arnie and Antonio into out-and-out centre forwards.
Right.
He just doesn't. They were both battering rams. Let's be honest. Barco and Altovich, he had quality that Antonio could only dream of. We see Antonio 1-on-1 with a keeper, and he's not going to score, or if he does, he misses 3 times first. Whereas you knew that as soon as Arnautovic was bombing through that middle when he just had the keeper to beat, he was drawing level, going ahead, taking a lead or whatever.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Maybe I don't want to go using words like dinosaur and stuff like that in regards to David Moyes, but I do think that perhaps he's another one who, when he sticks to a rigid system and it works, he's a good manager in this day and age. But when he's having to change stuff about, he's found wanting a bit. I think because there are better managers out there than him now. That he's. Again, what is he? He's been in the game for X amount of years. Just because you're experienced doesn't mean that you're up and running with the latest coaching methods and techniques again.
Yeah.
And that's not a put down on him. I've had bosses and stuff like that have been absolutely superb at their job, but they're stuck in their ways and they haven't adapted to changes in markets, workplaces, in industries. And I think that maybe David Moyes is one of those. We got lucky with him during COVID and stuff. And I do think there was a lot of an element of luck involved, and he's still trying the same things over and over again that were working back then. And 2 seasons is a long time in football, and that's not to take away from what he did for us last season in Europe. But again, trying to be objective and pragmatic about it, after the group stages, we still lost more games than we won. Despite we got to a semi-final, but Lyon, Seville beat us.
Yeah.
And obviously the 2 games against, although we didn't lose the ties on the Lyon and Seville, we still lost games. They still beat us in ties. I think the Seville and Lyon, he got a lot of credit in those from those 2 games, I think.
For sure. Just going back to the game quickly, Nick. Amarty's just strolled through the centre of the park and unleashed a drive from about 25 yards, which Fabianski's done really, really well to tip over. It was a terrible attempt at a challenge from Lucas Paquet. I've got to say, it was pretty awful stuff. Just let him walk past him. But Leicester have a corner anyway now. The result of that, it's a few camera adjustments here. Headed out, and West Ham managed to get it away. But I mean, that was pretty terrible stuff from our Brazilian. They just let him walk away from him.
Yeah, and he didn't do too great for their first goal either, did he?
No.
Again, player who's about to go to the World Cup. Is he playing within himself?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't really seen the best of him at all yet, have we? Paqueta, to be fair, he's not really shone in a single game so far. We've just seen Maddison go down. We saw Declan Rice go down. So I would imagine Gareth Southgate's having kittens somewhere.
Yeah,
watching this one.
No, well, again, there was just something about Paqueta in his first few games that I didn't see was particularly a 50-odd million pound player. And yes, I got slaughtered. I did, after a couple of his assists, I did downgrade my opinion or upgrade my opinion of him. But I don't think, I'm going to stand by what I said. I think for us, not necessarily staying him as a player as a whole, but I think for us, he's going to be a dud.
I was going to say, where is he on the DL scale right now? Is he still a DU or is he back to a DU?
No, he's earned, in inverted commas, he's earned the other D back now.
Right. Just seen Maddison receive some treatment on his right ankle. It looks a little bit concerned with that one. Declan Rice, as we said a few moments ago, was receiving a bit of treatment. Not particularly great news for England going into with both of those players heading to Qatar this week. But obviously our primary concern is West Ham, not England. And
absolutely,
we need a goal for sure. 20 minutes gone. We just saw the stat flash up. Pardon?
We need 2.
We do. Indeed, we do. There's a substitution being made. So it looks like Maddison's about to come off. I think that's just precautionary. I don't think he's badly hurt, but I'd imagine that he's had a word with the coach and said, look, I've just got my big chance. Will you do me a favour? I'm guessing. But Declan Rice has gone over to console him, put his hand on his shoulder, just to say unlucky. I'm
still going, you're not.
Yeah. Not sure he's too worried right now, but anyway, we're just waiting for the game to restart. I've lost my stream temporarily. Again, it's a funny old day for streams, isn't it? It's everyone's struggling this afternoon. It's not been great.
No, a bit like the football.
Yeah, indeed, it's one of those. We just saw a stat, Nick, didn't we, a couple of minutes ago, flash up on the screen, or on mine anyway, confirming that West Ham, it was just on 20 minutes, West Ham had 30% of possession to Leicester's 70%. So no change at all, really, which is disappointing again.
What should we do? I know you've been fighting his corner.
I have.
On the thread.
I have.
But how long does this... I mean, don't get me wrong, there's still obviously 65 minutes left of the game yet, but how long does it go on for before you start to get a little twitchy bottom?
Personally, for me,
yeah,
I would give him the season. I think he's earned the whole season, regardless of what happens. I know that won't go.
We're going down.
Absolutely. I think. I mean, you know, it's this goes right back. All of this, it goes back to John Lyall. And I know it's a long time ago now. We're talking 33 years. But it was that stopped me going to West Ham back in the day. I remember going to watch the games around then. And John had done so much for West Ham United. He was West Ham United, I think, to be fair. And it broke my heart to stand on the terraces and hear people chanting Lyle out. After everything he'd done, he'd taken us to a European final, won the FA Cup, given us our best ever finish in the league. And it absolutely broke my heart as a West Ham fan to hear that. And it's kind of stuck me ever since. I mean, I think you were around at the time, Nick. I mean, I was there. I was one of the few back in Roda.
Yes.
During his second season, because again, I felt at the time he deserved that second season because he'd done so well in his first season. Everyone said he was, he was rubbish. He was going to fail, and he gave us one of our highest ever finishes during his first season. I think we finished 7th, didn't we, in the league?
Yeah.
So I'm very much. I'd like to see managers given more time, not just West Ham United, but I would like to see managers given the opportunity. I can't think of many other fields of employment where you can produce results for 2 years, perform admirably for your company, and you have one dodgy spell and you're out the door. I think most, and I appreciate the finance involved make it different from a regular occupation and all that sort of stuff, but we've just seen actually a
bit of a goalmouth scramble there,
very close. Yeah, a bit of a goalmouth scramble. Do you want to take that one up, Nick?
Yeah, Ben Rama's coming down the left. The ball he plays the ball into the box. He tries to run at the keeper, takes a left-footed shot, I think. Well saved by the keeper. Ball just weren't landing for us. But to be fair, that's our best chance of the game. At least it's a shot on target. And we've worked the keeper. It's a promising sign. Let's just hope we can, that picks our confidence up a bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that could very easily have been the equaliser there.
Yep, better from West Ham. We need to see a lot more of that. But so going back to Moyes, I mean, I just feel that I would like to see managers given the opportunity to right a wrong. We are living in an era where as soon as a team has a run of 6, 7, 8 bad results, they're out the door because clubs are so scared of being relegated. Because
this goes back to what I was trying to argue at the start of the season, and more and more people on the forum and elsewhere have picked up on this. Isn't about this season as a whole, though, is it? When the Premier League's our bread and butter, our form since November last year, so we're now talking full 12 months. It's relegation form, so it's not like it's all of a sudden come out of the blue. There was some lovely work there by Skamaka. In the middle, he puts the ball across, and it's just headed out by Leicester. They've cleared their lines, but no, it's a nice play in the middle there from Skamaka. It's not just this season, though, is it? It's not just this season. Yeah, we finished 7th last season. That was only because at the start of the season we got the points on the board, and everyone else, we couldn't be caught because I still think we were lucky to not get overtaken by Brighton and Wolves. It's been a year. How much longer to give it? If it was just the start of this season, I think my opinion would be somewhat different and probably more aligned to yourself. But it's not. It's been going on a year. 2-0, isn't it?
No, we've just. We just broke down the right hand side. Paqueta had a really good chance to put a ball across, got into the 18-yard box on the right hand side, looked to play it across and just played it straight to the goalkeeper. And we had a really good chance. But it's good anyway. We're improving. But I mean, if I can just take you up on that point, last season everything after January was geared towards the Europa League. I don't think there was a single. Oh, hang on, I've just seen Ben Rama put the ball in. It's blocked, and it'll be a West Ham corner. We'll come back to that in just a minute. Everything after Christmas was geared towards the Europa League run. There wasn't a single fan that I think we spoke to on the forum that said they would happily give up the Europa League run for a 6th place finish in the Premier League rather than 7th. So I think there are mitigating circumstances for that. And of course, let's not forget that Moyes was operating with I called it a tiny squad on the forum in midweek. We had a squad of 13 or 14 players that were good enough to be playing regularly, and then it was just
Yeah, but
filler
then
thereafter.
as a manager, he's allowed himself to get into that position, into that situation. We sat here and we pulled apart that January transfer window, or rather, Paquette has just done a rose head as well from just outside the box. We pulled that transfer window apart because of the lack of action in it. And, you know, again, that's down to the manager. He chose not to bring in reinforcements. There would have been players available. There would have been players available in January. Maybe not the exact ones that he wanted.
Yeah.
He said there was money
I think that's the point, isn't it?
You know, other teams managed to strengthen. Look at Newcastle. Look at who I would say at that particular time in January were our direct rivals. Really, they're sort of a club more on our level. Yeah. They went out and they brought players in on January and they dragged themselves right up the table to the point from being in the position where we were now to nearly catching us. Same as Tottenham. They made a couple of signings and they ended up in the top four. We've done nothing and we've barely won a game since November.
Yeah. But anyway, so sort of, if I can just go back to your initial point there about the form's been poor since December, it has and it hasn't. For one thing, you know, if you're drawing an arbitrary line there and saying, I'm not going to take into consideration the form that got us into such a strong position until December. And to me, if you're going to look at a season, you've got to take the whole thing into consideration, right? But for me, the greatest mitigating circumstance for last season is that everybody was geared up towards Europa. Everything we were doing was with a view to winning that Europa League. Or just say, hang on, Cresswell's on the left. Can he get a crossover? Dinks one over. Paquette goes up. Oh, it's wide. It's inches wide. He's got to score there. Lucas, there's your chance to get off the mark, mate. Nick?
Yeah. So close. But he should have at least had it on target.
Yeah. To be fair, he's under a bit of pressure, isn't he? I think it's Thomas who's putting him under. But you've got to hit the target from there, haven't you? Oh, dear.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'll just round this point off.
Check offside, I think. It would have been offside anyway, wouldn't he?
Okay. We'll just see Ben Rama now in the box. 3 players around him. Dinks one over. Bowen's got the ball. Shoots. Loops up and over the bar, and it's a corner for West Ham. Hammer's beginning to turn the screw a bit now. I'll round this up very quickly if I can, because I don't want to be sitting here banging on about Moyes. But for me, this season, we played 14 games. People are saying about, this player's not working, Scamacca. We've played 14 games. He's still, Agaird's playing his first Premier League game out there today. He's not had an opportunity to get those players together on a regular basis. I don't disagree with anyone who says the form is terrible. It's absolutely dreadful so far. But for me, he needs a bit more time to get those players together. Now let's have a look at this cross coming again. Goes up in the I think you might be ahead of me, Nick. So I think I'm seeing the Souček. Where are you on your time?
33.06.
Oh, okay. No, it must be another one then, because I've just seen the ball delivered to Souček at the far post, and he's made a bit of a mess. Who's that down? I think that's Paqueta now. No, it's not Paqueta. It's Agaird. Agaird is down. Another Qatar-bound player that's got a knock. He's actually been kicked in the face by Scamacca. The corner's come over. Scamacca's put his boot up in the air to try and sort of do a kind of overhead kick, and he's caught the Moroccan on the hooter, no, in the mouth, and he's saying, "Oh, that's sore, but he's all right. He's all right." So just really to round out for me, Moyes, I think he needs more time. I'd like to see him get at least a full season with these new players. It's a massive. I don't think you can underestimate what a challenge it is to bring 8 new players into a squad.
No.
It's essentially a third of a squad, or even half of a first team squad of regular players, and try and incorporate them, in such a short space of time. And I understand people's questioning of the way he's doing it. We're looking at it today. Nothing's changing. People are seeing West Ham start badly every game, go a goal behind, and I understand why fans get upset at that. But I just hope that we give him a little bit more time. I think he's deserved it. I think he's given us 2 of. Let's not make any mistake about this. He's given us two of our best ever seasons as West Ham United supporters.
He has.
So I just feel from a loyalty, going back to Lyle and all that and what's happened and seeing Rhoda sacked and seeing Pardew sacked, seeing Allardyce let go. And we've scored! And we've scored! But no, he's offside. He's offside. Oh, what's going on? Thomas Souček's put the ball in the back of the net. Now, what's happening here? Bowen looks happy, but Souček's pulled out. Let's have another look. I was talking at the time and I didn't really see what happened. So the ball's played. Yeah, no, the ball's played in the channel to Bowen and he's offside. He's a yard off. Bowen's gone into the box. He's pulled it back for Souček, who's drilled it into the right-hand corner really well. But Bowen's clearly offside. No question about that. And unfortunately, anyway.
Error.
It was.
He didn't look where his man was before he made the run.
No. So, but better from Bowen anyway. He's beginning to pick up a bit. But anyway, I'm sure the debate about Moyes will rage on and on. And none of us are going to convince each other of that we're right. And who's to say we are? Only time will tell. But let's just hope we can get something out of this.
Do you know what's changed for me is if we were still, this is opening up a can of worms here. If we were still at the bowling ground, right, relegation would not bother me in the slightest. Wouldn't bother me. Now we've got this 70,000 seater ground or 60,000, whatever it is. I lose count. It keeps changing. And I don't think this time we can really afford a relegation because of the ground situation and that, and the players we've got and whatnot. And previous seasons going down hasn't bothered me. I've loved them. I've loved those seasons in the Championship where we've still had a full bowling ground and the likes of Preston North End and whatnot, even though they beat us. That's a memory and a half. That Preston game when, what's his name, Repka head-butted their player and got sent off. I enjoyed those nights. They were great. The tickets were cheaper. I went to most home games that last. Was that a Pardew season, actually, when we were down there, I think? It was. And I loved it. Yeah, and same as the Allardyce season when we were down there. I actually really enjoyed that season and we got the playoff final.
Yeah.
But I don't think being at this stadium, it had quite the same vibe. Playing to heart and, although 45,000 or so would still be an absolutely superb crowd for the Championship, it'd still be in almost half empty ground. And it wouldn't be the same. And that to me is why I worry about relegation. I think a lot of people may walk away. And once you lose your band, it's hard to get them back.
Oh, we've just seen Danny Ward make a tremendous save. I think it's Declan Rice. Hang on, Leicester are through here. This could be... Oh, and I think now it's Dawson... Now, if that's a legitimate challenge by Dawson, that's an absolutely immense. We didn't see what happened. The TV cut away to a replay of Declan Rice having a looping header from about 18 yards out that Danny Ward just managed to tip over the bar. The cameras panned back to the other end of the pitch where a Leicester player was racing through. I think it might have been the striker who's Dakar. I was just trying to see his name, but he's obscured by your head at the moment, Nick. Dawson's putting a tremendous challenge, come from behind him, and I thought it was a penalty, I've got to admit, initially, but not so. And it was a great challenge by Dawson. He's really kept West Ham in the game. Back to your point you were making about the stadium, I totally agree. Let's. How about this? When do you think, assuming the results don't improve, when do you think Sullivan will fire the trigger, so to speak?
Probably knowing Sullivan when it's too late. I think that there's a lot more riding on this result than I think maybe Moyes would care to admit.
Yeah.
If there is going to be a change,
Nick, sorry, can I come in there because there is a VAR check from that Dawson challenge we were just referring to. I've just seen it again. It's a clear penalty. He's caught his ankle, and VAR have instructed the referee to go and have another look at the side. And that's going to be a penalty. And I fear it'll be a yellow card for Dawson, I would imagine, because of the double jeopardy instruction. But this is going to be a penalty, and West Ham are in big trouble here. No question. He's raked his ankle and he's taken him down. The referee will change his mind here. Indeed, he has, and it's a penalty to Leicester. This is desperate for West Ham.
Could he not go, because that was a nasty challenge. he may go for the nasty challenge. That may be up.
Well, the card's coming out. The book's out.
He's off, isn't it?
Let's have a look and see what happens.
Because
now, I'm not sure if
above the ankle.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the double jeopardy issue here, but I'm not sure how that affects dangerous play. This is where we need gnome in situations like this.
I think dangerous play is dangerous play regardless of where he's on the pitch, and if it's dangerous play in the penalty area, it's both.
Right, it's a yellow card. He's booked him, so presumably that double jeopardy rule has come into play. But anyway, it doesn't really help West Ham a great deal. We're a goal down, and it's Leicester have a penalty. Dawson's conceded one. Let's see what happens. No Maddison on the pitch. Not sure if he's their regular taker actually, but will it be Barnes? Let's have a look. It's Tielemans. Yuri Tielemans is going to step up.
I think anywhere else on the pitch that would have been a red card.
Yeah,
I'm still not so sure on this double jeopardy rule. Because if you go and kick a player up in the air in the penalty box with dangerous play, then surely you've got to get the red card and the penalties.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. Anyway, Tielemans, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps back. He's going to hit it with his right foot. Referee just checking the area to make sure everyone's where they should be. Lucas Fabianski, hands by side, motionless, waiting for the kick to be taken. We're just waiting for the referee to blow his whistle now. There it goes. Tielemans steps up. Taking his time. And it's a save. Oh, nice. Fabianski saved it. Lucas Fabianski might just have kept West Ham in the game there. It's a decent enough penalty from Yuri Tielemans. He's put it to his left-hand side. Fabianski obviously been watching the videos. He knows what's coming. And full-length save. Got both hands to it. Firm punch. Pushes it wide. And it stays West Ham United 0, Leicester 1. And that could just keep, well, I might be going off on a bit of a tangent, but it could be keeping Moyes in a job, really.
Yep. But no, as we were saying, now's the opportunity, isn't it? If we are going to make a change, when we haven't got a game until Boxing Day,
and
we've only got 4 players missing, we've got in effect a full pre-season for a new manager to work with them. It's a tricky one, isn't it?
It is, and you know, I could understand it given the current circumstances. If they did make a change. Depending on today, I mean, if we were to lose this one, then you know there's plenty of fuel for the fire. But I mean, West Ham, just coming back to the game briefly, West Ham at 6s and 7s here. We've just seen Cresswell, I think it was, try and pass the ball to Rice. He's just put it straight out into touch. I'm just going to turn the volume up just for a second, just to get a feel for the crowd. It doesn't seem to be any sort of huge amount of booing, which I'm sure would have followed had that penalty gone in. But you know, on moments like that, games, or not just games, but even careers hinge, you could say. And who knows what's going to happen in the second half if West Ham are to get back into this? You'll certainly point to that, wouldn't you, Nick, and say, "Well done, Lucas." And wouldn't be the first time he's got West Ham out of you know, the frying pan, would it?
No, could have done with him on Wednesday, couldn't we?
Yes. He didn't get near any of those, did he, poor Alphonse?
No.
Didn't get near a single one. West Ham attacking on the left side, Ben Rama. Out to Aaron Cresswell. Down the line to Paqueta, who I think is onside. It's a good delivery, but it's not a good delivery. It's a terrible delivery. It's long and it's straight out in the touch on the other side. Poor Paqueta has not had his greatest game for West Ham, and there haven't been too many to look back on so far. But anyway, Craig Dawson, a lucky man, Nick, going back to that.
Yeah, I think he's very lucky. Not just with Fab bailing him out, but to stay on the pitch, because I still think anywhere else on the pitch, that would have been a red for dangerous play, because that was nasty. It was ankle high, studs showing. To me, that should have been a red card.
Now, we've just seen Jared Bowen go down, clutching the back of his calf. The referee doesn't look too interested in it. I mean, he's awarded the free kick to West Ham, but it doesn't look like there's any cards about to follow. Just have another look at this. Bowen's first to the ball. I mean, that's a stamp. I mean, that's the car again who was involved in the penalties. He's stamped. It looks like he's gone down on the top of his foot. But the referee's not having any of it. It's just a free kick to West Ham. Bowen He's all right. His pride is
Innocuous.
probably
I don't think there was any too much malice.
right.
I think it was just when it's slow motion, it looks worse. I think that was just legs getting tangled. He wasn't looking.
Yeah.
He didn't have the movement in his leg of somebody who's deliberately trying to injure somebody else.
Leicester sprung a quick counter again. It's Dakar on the right-hand side. He's got Harvey Barnes in the middle. It's a poor centre. And the ball's gone out into touch. But West Ham are just leaving themselves open. And Leicester sort of attacking at will at the moment. And there needs to be a conversation at half-time. There are 4 minutes added on at the end of the first half. We're into the first of those. But what did you think, team, watching on the stream? Let us know with what you thought of that challenge by Dawson. Do you think it should have been a red card, irrespective of what the rules currently are? Do you think Craig was lucky to stay on the field? Let us know. Where is it? Down there. And if you like what you're seeing, Nick, what do they have to do?
Matt Jarvis.
There you go. Give us a like. It's down there. Down there. There you go. West Ham have the ball. 46-45 played as it's the first of 4 minutes. And oh dear, Scamacca's just, I don't know what he's done. He's just kicked the ball at Lucas Paqueta, who's about a yard away, and it's bounced off the Brazilian's shins into a Leicester player's path. Fortunately, West Ham have a throw in from it. So one more chance anyway to provide an attack. It was a naughty challenge, says AGXM. Hobo says it was a pen, but I thought Dawes was fouled just before he went into the box. Let us know. Anyone else? What did you make of the challenge? What are your thoughts on it? Should he have been sent off? What about that save from Lucas Fabianski? Absolutely fantastic, stunning penalty save, and he's had a few of those, and he's made a few over the years. No red, says Dan B. Leicester with the ball deep into West Ham territory on the left-hand side by the corner flag. They have a throw on, I think. Sheila Kera wants the ball. The linesman's given it to the visitors. We're into the final 2 minutes now. We've added on time at the end of the first half. West Ham United 0, Leicester City 1. Leicester should be 2 up. Yuri Tielemans saw a penalty saved. I won't say he missed it because it was a well enough struck spot kick. It was an absolutely fantastic save by Lucas Fabianski. Bit early to have this discussion, Nick, but in terms of changes for the second half, anyone that you think you'd like to see hooked at this point?
Yeah, Paqueta for 4 nails.
Right.
Like for like.
Okay. That's what you think on the stream. Should we be making changes? As Paqueta, obviously not in the races, it's a fair shout by Nick, but Scamacca's not been brilliant. Not that there's anyone to replace him out there at the moment. Ben Rama's not really been involved an awful lot. Cresswell was putting a couple of dodgy passes and really say once again he's been caught out at the far post for the goal. But anyway, it's poor. Jared Bowen has the ball, looks to play it ahead of him to Scamacca, and that really sums up West Ham's problem. Scamacca just not on the same wavelength as Bowen, but he's done really well to win a throw in. Last minute of the added on time. Come on, West Ham. Can we have one more chance before the half-time whistle goes? Probably not, because it's played.
Surprised that was a throw in. It looked more like a free kick to Scamacca, that one. Pushed over, wasn't it?
Yeah, it looked a bit of a strong challenge, didn't it? It looks like we're going to go to half-time a goal behind because Aguerd has got the ball deep in his own half, plays a long ball to Bowen. He's done really well to win it now. Scamacca, it's 2 against 2 here. Scamacca kind of dallies, looks up, and the chance I think is gone. But Declan Rice has it. West Ham still in possession, plays it short to Paqueta. Rice looks to run onto it. Paqueta tries to find it, but it's a poor pass by Paqueta. And Leicester can actually break now, and that's a very, very good ball played to Barnes. He's up against Kera, and Kera's done well on that occasion to nip the ball off his toes and play it back to Fabianski. But that's it. It's half time. 49 minutes and 4 seconds on the clock, and the referee says he's had enough, and West Ham going to the break 1-0 behind to that 9th minute goal from the substituted James Maddison. Yuri Tielemans had a chance to double the advantage in the 41st minute, but it was a fantabulous save by Lucas Fabianski to keep West Ham in the game. Nick, your summary of what we've seen there in that opening 49 minutes.
Probably the first half hour. absolutely dreadful. Promising signs since. We did our very best to throw it away with Craig Dawson's. I mean, the more you look at it, the more you're like, what was he doing? He was never getting to that in a million years. But it is what it is. The save was made. We got another 45 minutes to go again. And hopefully, that's where we are. That's where we're at, isn't it? Blimey, we're just now saying hopefully. That's all we can say. That's about it.
Yeah, you made the point there, Nick, didn't you? The first half was pretty dreadful, but we kind of picked up a little bit after that, and you know we did create some chances. I mean, the best shot, you know, or the one that really started that little sequence was Ben Rama's effort, which was saved by the feet of Danny Ward in the 27th minute. He had a good opportunity, but Ward did well to come out. 29th minute, Paqueta had a really good chance, got into the box on the right-hand side, down to the byline, pulled the ball across, but straight at Ward, just too close to the goalkeeper. 3 minutes later, Paqueta was on the end of an Aaron Cresswell cross, but we thought he'd probably not made the most of it. But to be fair, I think it was Thomas was doing a very, very good job, got very close to him, didn't really allow him any room for the header, which he didn't manage to hit the target with. And then, of course, West Ham did have the ball in the back of the net in the 35th minute when Jarrod Bowen pulled the ball across for Thomas Souček, who finished with aplomb, you could say. But unfortunately, Jarrod Bowen was a good yard offside in the build-up, and it was ruled out. And then, of course, closest West Ham really went was probably the Rice looping header. It was a free kick. I think it was Cresswell who took the free kick from about 35 yards out towards Rice on the edge of the box. And Rice, I think he was only helping it on, but his looping header had to be tipped away from Danny Ward because it was going in just under the crossbar. But Ward's had a good game actually so far for Leicester, the keeper. But yeah, you know, so Nick, we are making chances. There's 4 or 5 opportunities there on another day. Is this just one of the, you know, you kind of you made the reference to seasons gone by. In a way, this kind of reminds me a little bit of 2002-03, where we remember that game against Arsenal where we Canute had that penalty. We had the chance to get back into the game, and they delayed it for about 5 minutes. He missed it, and we ended up losing that game. And I don't think we won a home game until I think it might have been against Southampton on January the 30th or 31st the following year. That season, of course, but you know, it ended up in West Ham's relegation. Do you get those sort of vibes, do you, from what you're seeing this season?
Yeah, I mean to say I got those vibes after a couple of games that it was just going to be one of those. And when you look at the stats of all the amount of shots and stuff we have on a game and our finishing, I mean, I was here on the last game we did. I pulled it all up, didn't I? The difference is this season over last is we're not converting our chances. Our chance conversion rate has gone through the floor. We've actually still conceded less goals this season after 14, 15 games than last. You know, and people are pointing to our defensive woes. Oh, yeah, this, that, and the other defence. It's not our defence. We're not scoring goals. I think we're something like 14 goals down now, 15 goals down on this time last season. That's where the problem lies, not at the defence. And it just seems that we can never have a good defence and a good attack. It's got to be either one or the other. And I know our defence gets criticised and slaughtered, but that's us. I personally believe, and the numbers show it from previous seasons, it's our defence ain't the problem. It's the final third where most money's been spent.
Yeah, ironically enough. You know, we spoke earlier about why Moyes. You asked me why I felt Moyes should be given a little bit more time to correct the woes that we're currently experiencing. I think that's a very, very good point, and one of the reasons why there's games this season where we should have picked up points. And I know everyone says that if you're playing badly, but we should never have lost at Forest. You know, we lost that game due to a terrible decision by the referee to cancel out our goal when Antonio was adjudged to have pushed the defender. Was it Mangala? When he just ran into the defender, stepped across him, and the referee said he deliberately pushed him over. We hit them 4 nails, hit the bar. There was 1 or 2 others who also hit the bar that day. Should never have lost that game. Chelsea, of course, it was the big one. We should have had a point there. Again, that was just a terrible, terrible decision by the referee. Bowen was, adjudged to have left his foot in on the keeper when, there was clearly nothing wrong with it. Denied a point there.
That's 2 points. That is it. Yeah. That's 2 points. So, that's really only the difference between, as things stand at the moment, between 15th, where we are, just 2 points above the drop zone, and 12th.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I agree.
It made a massive difference to our season anyway.
No, I absolutely agree. But it's just kind of, for me, that's indicative of where we are this season. We're just not sort of getting the rub of the green. But I mean, the point you made there, for me, that is the key point. The fact that we are creating chances, and we had this discussion on the forum in the week. West Ham are creating chances. We're just not converting them. That's the difference. It's not a question of, we're just, I mean, you look back, I think it was, I reeled them off. It was 13 shots against Man U, 22 at Southampton, 22 last week, and so on and so forth. We're not, not getting into the final third. We are. There's just a lack of cohesion in the final third. We're not getting into the right areas. We're seeing, we saw one today. Declan Rice, 18th minute. We'd had a break. Ball broke on the edge of the box to Declan Rice, 25 yards out. Instead of trying to work the ball in and create something, maybe pass the ball out wide to Cresswell or come across to Bowen, he's had a dip from 25 yards. You don't score from those positions very often. And I think that's one of the reasons. It might be a slight panic on the players' behalf because we're not creating enough. But that really, for me, was a very good example of where we're going wrong. So I think that, for me, that point you made is the key point, is that we are creating. So if we weren't creating chances, if we were getting beaten 3 or 4 every week, then it's very, very difficult to defend the manager and the players. But we're not. We're losing games by the odd goal. We're not getting thrashed by anybody, and we're just not taking our chances. So for me, that's enough for me to say let's stick with it for a little bit longer and just see what happens. If we were to get into a position where we're not even adrift, but in the bottom 3 even, then I can understand why, people start to get a little bit nervous in the boardroom and start thinking, well, maybe this is the time to make a change. But we're not there yet. I don't think we're not the sort of club yet that must always finish in the top 8. We're still West Ham. Let's not forget this. Before the last 2 seasons, we rarely finish in the top 8 of the Premier League.
I totally get that. Get that.
So that's why I think let's just see, is it a blip? Let's find out. Is it a blip or is it a pattern? Has Moyes lost the plot? If he's lost the plot, he has to go. If it's just a blip, let's give him the opportunity to
to me, there are a few signs. There are a few signs that maybe he's not totally lost the plot yet, but he's losing it. I think he had his Allardyce moment last week when with his, the crowd's full of experts comment. That wasn't wise. Wasn't wise from him at all.
Agreed.
And once you start saying that, you lose. You start losing the support. And once you do lose the support, you're toast. And I know it was taken out of context to some degree, but his comment about, we must be doing something right as we're on the same amount of points as Leicester. And I know that's just one line from an actual paragraph, but even so, even taking it into the full context, that was another comment of his that was making me, what's this bloke on? What's he been smoking? Why would you come out with a comment like that when another team that you're battling with down the foot of the table? Because make no bones about it, we are, Yeah. And he comes out with that, and it's just more ammunition. And at the end of the day, the board must know this sort of comments and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
They're with him day in, day out, and maybe his behaviour is becoming more erratic.
Yeah,
but the point remains. Our previous, including today, as things stand, 1 drawn, lost, 1 lost. It's not a good look. And yet we're still sitting here on a -5, which goes to show, no, -4 even, which goes to show, it proves the point, doesn't it? It's not our defence that's the problem. We can't score for toffee.
Yeah, I mean, people have made the argument, haven't they, on the forum? You look at the stats. We're not getting beaten convincingly in any game. We went to Anfield. All right, we lost, but it was probably the best we played up there for some time, probably since 2016. We went to Old Trafford, and we're talking about games we shouldn't have lost, or we should have done better in. Again, some people might view it as an excuse, but if it isn't for David De Gea making 2 absolutely world-class saves in the last 5 minutes of that game, the very least we walk away with is a draw.
Yeah, but see, to me, when you're playing at teams like Man United that can afford the best players, now let's have it right. David De Gea is not a poor goalkeeper. He's a keeper that's been coveted by some of the top clubs in the world. You'd expect. Maybe I'm being harsh, but they're the sort of saves you pay your money, you get keepers that make world-class saves like that 2-3 times a game. So the chances you do get, the ones that we sky into Rosette or, head wide of the post when the goalkeeper's over the other side of the goal, they're the ones we should be scoring, not bemoaning the fact that a world-class keeper is making world-class saves. So maybe that is a bit
no,
harsh.
that's fair enough. But the point is, you can go for a lot of games and say, we. I'm sure every football fan does exactly the same thing, right? They look at their team and say, we could have done this and that. But these are the performances aren't that bad in terms of the actual statistics at the end of the game. People will look at it and say, every game we're starting badly. Why that is, I don't know. I really don't know why this is. We've done it again today, and it's cost us yet again, and that needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
But overall, we are still putting in performances, and I think there's enough there for us to work with, and get out of it. The problem is, and again, I've made this point as well. For me, Moyes this season is a victim of his own successes in the last 2, because the problem is now West Ham. A lot of West Ham supporters have seen West Ham finish 6th in the league. They've seen us finish 7th in the league. They've seen us get to a European final. And there's an element of the support that I think kind of expect that to be the norm now, and they forget who we are actually as a club and where we are in the echelons of the football tier. We're still a club who are, look, if we finish top 10 every season, we've had a good season, right? Yeah. We're still in that tier with Newcastle, with Everton, with Aston Villa, those kind of mid-table clubs. We've had 2 absolutely fantastic seasons, and that's why I think Moyes is because he's done so well. People kind of expect it a bit now, and there is that expectancy amongst the fan base, which is a good thing, right? I mean, this isn't bad. This is great because he's turned us around. He's turned us. People talk about we need a manager to get us to the next level. Moyes has taken us to the next level. He's taken us from a mid to lower tier Premier League team to a team that's on the verge of challenging for the top 6 and being able to play in Europe on a regular basis. When we went to Frankfurt, that's the first time we've played in a European semi-final since my grandfather was playing Eintracht Frankfurt in '76. This is how long it is since West Ham have been this successful, and that's why I think we need to give him a bit more time. Just say, hey, look, if we do have a crap season, if we do finish 14th or 15th this season, let's start again next year. Let's remember who we are. Let's not expect it every year. But of course, football doesn't work like that anymore, does it?
No, I mean you're quite right. Expectations have been raised, but I think regardless of expectations being raised, as it stands, played 15, won 4. In any other season, if a manager hadn't had that credit in the bank that David Moyes has got, I think triggers would have been pulled. I don't think it's about right because we've had the odd good game against Liverpool. We had the good part of game against Man United. Mostly this season, it's not just the fact we're losing. Our performances have been pretty dire. As well, and I don't know. I think maybe you're being a little bit harsh on the expectations being raised because if we were because this is such a tight season, it's hard to judge it, right? But if, say, for argument's sake, we were sitting in 8th, 9th, 10th, playing this sort of football that we're playing, I don't think it would be criticised as much. And to be in 8th, 9th, 10th, what do we need? What, another 4 points, 5 points?
Yeah.
No, to be in 10th, we need another 6 points. No, 5 points. My maths is crap. To be in 10th, yeah, another 5, 6 points because Fulham have got a better goal difference than us. And you have to look back at where could we have got those 5 points, and the ones we keep looking at are the Chelsea and the Forest game, where we had goals disallowed that, quite frankly, we shouldn't have had. And I think that, that's indisputable. But that's only an extra 2 points. But then you flip it over at the absolute travesty of Fulham when we had goals allowed that I think any reasonable neutral would have said no. How on earth? And I think they were totally stuffed, screwed over by the refs that game. But obviously, if it's 3 points, we'll take it. We are underway in the second half, by the way, 46 minutes played.
Yeah, we are. We've just seen Said Benrahma actually have a shot inside the opening minute, cut inside from the left-hand side, and took aim from 18, 19 yards. It was a fairly simple save for Danny Ward, but good start from West Ham. Anyway, this is what we need. We need to come out the blocks firing in this second half and try and force our way back into this game. Just quickly, we didn't do it at half-time, but just want to have a look at the first half stats. Possession, West Ham 47%, Leicester 53% in that first half, so pretty even. Hang on, Benrahma's got the ball. It's a poor pass. I was looking for Bowen, but Kera's done really well to retrieve it. Now, Bowen, can he do anything? 35 yards from goal. Central, looks out to Cresswell on the left. Nothing really happening at the moment. We'll come back to that if it does. West Ham, 9 shots in that first half, 4 on target. Leicester, 5 shots, 4 on target. 1 corner for West Ham, 2 for Leicester. So again, if you're looking at the stats, it's very, very even though, clearly the best, Leicester should really have been 2 up. West Ham did have chances, but Leicester, of course, missed that penalty and should have been 2 up. 2 minutes into the second half. And it's been a good start by West Ham. Souček has just put Dakar on the deck with a very, very strong but fair and legitimate challenge. So hopefully this is West Ham coming out with a positive intent in the second half. Shot from Benrahma. And here we go.
Did they get a free kick for that with Souček?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Moyes on the sideline there, deep in discussion with 1 or 2 of his backroom staff. He's giving someone instructions. He's trying to shield his face. He's doing this, but he's not doing a very good job of it because his hands like that rather than that. So it's not working if anyone's looking.
It's not a particularly good... do you notice that little exchange in between him and... Is it Irving? No.
Yeah. No, not Irving. Nevin.
Nevin. It was like, it was like doing that with his arms, like he hasn't got a clue what to do. And I don't think it was it didn't look like a particularly pleasant conversation, did it? Certainly wasn't asking about the weather.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. And maybe a bit of frustration from the manager, but we need a lip reader, don't we, Nick? That's what we need. And that would be ideal. We could have told you exactly what he was saying.
Scottish, it ain't easy.
Does the accent come across when you lip reading? I wonder if that comes into play. I've never thought of that really. Skamaka on the ball for West Ham, loses possession on the halfway line, and Leicester have the ball again. Couple of comments. So just reading your comments. Hobo says, I think there's the extra worry about losing Rice, adding to the pressure to call for a change. I think Rice leaves either way, but to have any chance of him staying, we feel the need to be top 6. And Leonard Brooks says Moyes has had a few seasons like this one with Everton. If I remember rightly, during his early years with them, while he was building that team, I think we should stick with him. Let us know what your views are on Moyes. Stick or twist. Let us know. A contentious issue. We had one of those once, didn't we?
We did indeed. That was a good thread there.
Yeah, went on forever. 5 minutes gone in this second half. Lovely little 1-2 between Cresswell and Benrahma. And Benrahma's escaped with the ball done really, really well there. And he's found Bowen on the right-hand side. Good opportunity for West Ham to get into the box. Bowen goes around the outside, tries to play the ball across. He almost run into Lucas Paqueta, actually, but he's done really well to win a corner, and West Ham have their first opportunity for a set piece this season. Now, we've talked about things that haven't gone right this season, Nick. Here's a great example, right? Our corners. We were,
Yes.
you know, superb at them last year. Scored from one this year, I think, maybe.
Yes. Yeah. Every single blooming game, wasn't it? Every
We played
single
it short.
game.
We played it short. Bowen to Rice, and then Bowen's clipped it in, and it's not beat the first man. So didn't actually make any difference. And nice to see a bit of variation for a change anyway, obviously, rather than just playing the ball in. West Ham still with the ball anyway. It's Ben Rama once again. Seen a lot more of the ball in the second half already, it looks like. Played it back to Cresswell. Cresswell inside to Declan Rice. Cresswell's made a really good run, but hasn't been picked out. Declan Rice finds Paqueta, who's played it in. Paqueta played it in low to Bowen. Bowen didn't get anything on the end of it, and it's I think it's Faze who's managed to put the ball out for a corner. But interesting, just watching Paqueta playing on the right-hand side a little bit more. He seems to be pulling out a bit. I don't know if they've made a slight tactical adjustment there, but anyway, we'll see how that goes. It's Bowen with the corner.
That was a
and it's on to the... Sorry?
smashing ball by Rice, though.
It was great, wasn't it? Superb stuff. Corner's come in onto the head of Skamaka. Skamaka's actually got up first, but he's got underneath it. Couldn't really get any purchase on it, and it's just looped out for a goal kick. But it's better, Nick. You know, I mean, we might be clutching at straws here a little bit, but it's better, right? So far, second half.
So far, so good. Did you see the comments made by Skamaka earlier in the week?
Which ones were made?
He feels personally he's only playing at about 70% because he's still getting used to the league, getting used to his teammates, and that he even admits himself he's got a long way to go before he's adjusted. And I think that's actually quite refreshing.
Yeah,
to read that from a player, that he's aware of at the moment his own deficiencies, and that he's going to work on them. Don't normally get that nowadays.
No, that's good to see. But this comes back to what I'm saying about the fact that we've brought all these players in. We've introduced 8 players to the squad, and they're still finding their feet at the club. They're learning to play with new players, and there's an indication that did he say why he felt he was only playing at 70% at the moment?
I think it was something about the speed of the league, because the Premier League so very different to Italy and wherever.
Okay. Well, that's, I mean, again, if you're looking at vindicating the manager, or at least, I'm not saying excuses, we're not looking for excuses, but providing reasons perhaps why the club aren't repeating what we did last season, there's a good indication, players still finding their feet. We just saw Lucas Paqueta pick the ball up, try and play it through. Really good example, actually. Tried to play it through to Skamaka, who would have been behind and away, but he just strayed offside.
Yep.
Made his run a little bit early. So really good example, actually, what we're talking about there.
Yes, absolutely. But again, no, I could sort of put it back to January, where we've done it all in one big lump this summer, rather than try and integrate some in January, maybe. And again, the other thing that again, trying to give maybe a little bit of justification for our fall is, don't forget, we've done a lot of our signings right at the end of the window as well, so they haven't had a pre-season. And I get that they may not have been available. So again, that's a little bit of fair dues. But again, how much of it harks back to January, when Moyes was holding out maybe for these players? But not forgetting we missed out on quite a few of our targets in the summer as well.
Yeah, I think it's a really, really valid point, and it'll be interesting. One day, the truth will emerge as to exactly why we didn't strengthen the squad. I mean, let's be honest. We knew in January, if we wanted to go further in Europe, we needed to bring in 1 or 2 players. We needed a striker. Yeah. But if we knew that, Nick, Moyes knew it as well. And I'm not sure I buy the argument that he kind of said, well, I'm not buying anyone just because. I'm sure he realised that he needed bodies. But the truth will come out on that one. And if it is the case that Moyes turned down the opportunity to buy certain players that would have boosted our run for Europe, then absolutely he's at fault for that. And again, it's a very good point you just made. If I can just make that point before you come in, it's a very good point you make there about the timing of the signings in the summer to bring them in. Paqueta, Scamacca in the last week, right? Last few days of the deadline, haven't had an opportunity to get to know the club. It's not good. We saw clubs like Villa, didn't we, go out and buy players in the first couple of weeks of the window and get them in, get them bedded in. It's tough bringing them in late. I've just seen Souček try and bend one in from the edge of the box, but it's high and wide. But I just wanted to back you up on that point, really, just to say I think that's another really, really good reason why these players haven't quite bedded in yet, because we did bring them in too late. Again, you're right. If they're not available a month earlier, you can't blame the club, can you?
No, you can't. But I suppose it's again same as the January. Now it's either a case of Moyes was covering up for the board, which I don't see why he would. He doesn't seem to me to be a board-lacking manager who would, cover up. I mean, the fact that he's on multiple press conferences came out about January and also other interviews as well that aren't press conferences, the one-on-ones on YouTube and stuff, where he said, oh no, I had the board did back me in January. They did. There were funds available, etc., etc. There just wasn't the players there that I wanted. When, and he's banging on about if they don't improve on the players that I've got starting. That's a line in itself. Because he used that a few times, didn't he? So they've got to be an upgrade on those that we've already started. Whereas we had this during the last season when I said it, but we didn't need an upgrade on those that were starting. We just maybe needed an upgrade on Diop, an upgrade on Yarmolenko and whatnot. And I think maybe upon reflection, he may realise that a massive opportunity was missed.
Yep.
January, and he's human at the end of the day, and managers do make mistakes. It's a tricky one because obviously we know the history of our board, and it could quite easily be the finger pointed at them. But then, there are ways and means. Moyes then didn't have to keep coming out on multiple occasions saying the money was there and it was my decision. And I think that's maybe brave of him as well, because that is where the axe will fall. If it shows that we've done now too much in too short a space of time with all the signings we've got.
Yeah, it's a very valid point. As I said, if that does prove to be the case, then he's made a rod for his own back. But we'll have to wait. So coming back to the game quickly, we've got another corner. Paqueta just played the ball out on the right, and the cross came in, was nodding out for a corner. So it's Cresswell from the left this time. Let's see if we can profit from this one. Souček, Scamacca, Dawson in the box. Rice is up there, deep across this time. And it's over the bar. It's Declan Rice who's on the end of this one. Gets something on it, but it's over the bar, and it stays West Ham United 0, Leicester 1. But the chances beginning to rack up for West Ham in this second half now. But Wolves still not had too many saves to make.
The story of the season: chance after chance after chance, and they're not hitting the target.
Now, Danny Ward's taking his time to take this goal kick, which is being met by quite a few jeers from the Hammers fans, as you would expect. Probably a little bit early to time waste, but I suppose any opportunity to cause further unrest amongst the home fans will be gratefully accepted by Leicester.
Yeah,
we're just coming up to the hour mark. 59 minutes gone. It's still West Ham United 0, Leicester 1. The only goal of the game coming from James Maddison in the 9th minute. Fabianski saved a penalty for those of you just joining 4 minutes ahead of halftime. Absolutely brilliant save from Yuri Tielemans, spot kick. Took it well, played it into the left-hand corner, but Fabianski, as I said at the time, has obviously been watching some videos and made a good save. Now, we've just seen Lucas Paqueta become the second West Ham player booked today for a bit of a late challenge. Doesn't look particularly happy out there, Nick, does he?
He doesn't. Probably wondering what the hell he's done moving to West Ham, to be honest.
Wouldn't be the first. It's a bit of a hack, really, on Samare, the number 42. Took him from behind. Took one for the team, I think you say, in those occasions.
Yeah.
But Leicester have a free kick anyway. Samare's just receiving treatment. I don't think he's particularly badly hurt, but the opportunity to waste another 45 seconds. They'll take. And we're over the hour mark now. Just seeing a close up with the Leicester bench on the stream. James Maddison with a cap on backwards. Looks pretty happy with life, as no doubt he's entitled to, given his call up to the England squad this week. He was substituted. When was he substituted? In the first half. I wrote it down. Can't tell you exactly when it is. West Ham, of course, have already made a substitution. Kurt Zuma, who was limping in the warm-up. We understand he took a knock during the warm-up, was replaced after 16 minutes by Naya Fagerd. Leicester's free kick taken, delivered to the far side of the penalty area, but headed out by Kera. Leicester retrieve possession, building again on the edge of West Ham's box. West Ham back in numbers. Cross comes in, but it's blocked by Bowen. And Bowen's got a chance to escape with the ball now, does well. And Bowen goes down after a very late challenge. It's the substitute, and now we're going to see a card. It's Ndidi, who came on for Tielemans just 6 minutes ago, has been booked for a late challenge on Bowen. Yeah, he's put his foot down on the top of his foot. Bowen's wearing those silly football boots, Nick, that don't really offer you any protection whatsoever these days. And
no,
it's a
silly.
Bowen gets the touch, and then he's in with the lunge.
So West Ham about to take the free kick. Bowen's up. Not the first time he's had a knock today, or suffered a knock today.
No, he's had a couple, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's had a big knock to his confidence, of course, earlier in the week when he was left out of the England squad, though.
Yeah,
I don't think there was any chance of him going, Nick, was there?
No, not at all. And I think it was a good move from Moyes, because he's been woefully out of form. I posted on the forum during the week that I think it would have been quite bad man management if he dropped Bowen today. Not that he would have, but if he had, it would have been bad management. They're sort of decisions that after the disappointment of him not going to the World Cup, which is totally, on him at the end of the day. They're sort of decisions that could break a player, basically. We do need to bear in mind they are human beings at the end of the day. And they sometimes
why has he suffered so much this season? Why has his form dipped so dramatically? Do you think being called up to England had anything to do with it at the end of last season?
I think it could be a combination of a few things. I notice he does get kicked out of games quite a lot. He's let a few bad habits creep in. He used to have the odd dive here and there, didn't he? But it seems this season he's doing more of that. He's not riding challenges like he used to. He just seems to be playing in third gear.
Yeah.
Maybe he still thought in his little art of arts that he was going to go to the World Cup and he was playing within himself. But it's had the wrong effect.
Yeah, hasn't quite worked out for him, has it? My little ooh there was because Said Benram does some lovely work on the left-hand side. Yeah. Pulled the ball across, but it was not a great cross. And to be fair, in his defence, there wasn't really anyone making themselves available inside the box, which is again sort of indicative of where we are. Another promising position for West Ham, but just unable to profit from it at all. But Leicester, I don't think Leicester have touched the ball in the last 90 seconds. This is better, and the crowd beginning to get behind the boys.
To be fair, I think Benny made the right choice doing that cross. All it would have needed was a deflection off of a defender running in, and there you go. There's an own goal. We've equalised. He did. I think he did the right thing. I'm not his biggest fan, but I don't think he didn't do anything wrong there. He had no one to pass to. So
that's it.
Box. You never know. You never know what might happen if it.
No, that's right. That's right. Stick it in the mixer. Yeah, a lovely touch to bring it down. Rice has played the ball on the outside to Kera. Kera balls the ball across. Skamaka! Oh, he's just can't get on the end of it. For anyone who remembers the 1996 European Euro semi-final between England and Germany, the ball came across and Paul Gascoigne couldn't quite get on the end of it. We've almost seen the repetition of that here. The ball played out to Kera, overlapping on the right-hand side. Rice played it out to him. It's a low ball come across. It's a lovely, lovely ball from Kehrer, to be fair, into that dangerous area. Scamacca is onside. If he gets anything on it, it's a goal, but it's just a little bit too strong by the German. And Scamacca it rolls out for a goal kick. It's just not happening for West Ham yet again today, as my stream dies. Again, it's been a bit like that for us today, isn't it? Kind of almost echoes West Ham's season a bit with our streams, the way it's been up and down this afternoon. But anyway, 25 minutes to go, Nick. Can we get something back here?
Yeah, put it right on me, mate.
I know.
We can. Will we? I don't know. I don't think we will. And now we've got Steptoe coming on as well. No matter how bad he is and how much form he is, how much older he's going to get, it's Jamie Vardy. He scores against us all the bloody time. So,
yeah, he does have a habit of that. Well, let's just hope he's not having a party at the London Olympic Stadium in about half hour's time. We need to see a dramatic turnaround in fortunes for West Ham if we're going to deny Leicester that win here. But we're definitely on top at the moment. But Leicester giving the ball away, and it's Bowen on the ball for West Ham. It's a great overlapping run by Kerry. He's in a really good position. Can he get another crossing? Delivers it, chips it out to the far post. Oh, it's good defending, but where's it going to fall? It's going to fall into a Leicester player's zone where he can hoof it out into touch for a West Ham front. Leicester definitely on the back foot at the moment, though, Nick, and just happy to remain in front as things stand.
Yeah. But the thing is, we're playing extremely, extremely open. And you know, didn't you? It's going to be a case of we're giving them the Alamo, and then they're going to go on a break, and then it'll be Vardy.
Well, it's actually happening right now. Kehrer's conceded possession, and they've stopped up now. But they did initially look like they were going to break with some speed, but pulled it up. And just to regain possession for a bit. And the ball is actually right back now with goalkeeper Danny Ward. 67 minutes gone. West Ham United 0, Leicester 1. The Hammers desperately need something from this game. Would a draw be a decent result here today? Or an acceptable result, should I say, perhaps?
On the basis of how we've played and the fact that we was behind after 9 minutes, it would be a better result. I think this is one of those games we needed to be taking 3 points off Leicester, to be honest, simply because they're our direct rivals down there.
Yeah,
it is it's what they call the old 6-pointer, isn't it?
Yeah, it does feel a bit like that, doesn't it? We've just seen Aaron Cresswell put in an absolutely huge challenge, which was responded to by a big cheer from the crowd. And West Ham have just won a free kick. Now it looks like there's 3 Leicester changes about to be made here, Nick. We've got Vardy coming on. Let's see who we've got here in the 68th minute. So Vardy's coming on for turnaround. I can't see your number. Right, and we're just going to have to wait for the screens to see who's coming on and off. Yeah, it's Dakar who's gone off, being replaced by Vardy. Now that's the first change for Leicester. Right, so Dewsbury Hall and Samare are also off for Leicester in that triple substitution. It's Perez and Mendy, number 17 and number 24, coming on for the visitors. So a triple substitution by Brendan Rodgers there. What do you make of that, Nick, in terms of the tactics he's looking at employing there? Doesn't look particularly defensive to me.
It's either going to be too many subs in one go, or it's going to be genius from Brendan Rodgers, isn't it? I don't think there's going to be any in between. And of course, 70 minutes in, and obviously we've not made any subs yet. Oh, very David Moyes.
That enforced one early on. We haven't seen any more, have we?
No. Again, very Moyes-esque.
Leicester got to get hold of this ball, run this clock down really with good possession play.
Lee Ansell asks where the hell is Cornet. Still out, Lee. Unfortunately, still injured. Not going to be back until after the World Cup. Well, nobody's going to be back until after the World Cup now, of course. But the club are hoping to get him fit again in time for that Arsenal game on Boxing Day. But still not fit. Still injured, unfortunately. Rob says we needed a win. Presumably in response to my question about would a draw be enough. Form in the Premier League has been tepid at best since January, says Rob. And also says I was being positive afterwards. We're in the final 20 minutes, team. It's still West Ham 0, Leicester 1. The Foxes leading by that 9th minute goal from James Maddison. West Ham asleep. Again, Nick. Again at the start of the game. Fast asleep.
Makes a change, doesn't it?
It does indeed.
I'm hungry. I want my dinner. What you got for tea tonight?
What have I got for tea?
Yeah.
I've no idea, mate. Absolutely no idea whatsoever. I had a nice Chinese last night, though, for what it's worth, after training, which I'm still feeding a bit actually today. But what are you having? You having anything? Steak. No, we're having steak tonight. Sorry, steak.
Yeah, well, do you know what? That's kind of an option because there's a local butcher's down the road who does these massive packs of like all sorts of, well, I say a pack, it's like a bag.
Nice.
£29 for about £55 worth of meat.
Lovely.
Does them every week. So grab one of those and that's got some steak in it. And I thought, yeah, steak, chips and peas with a griddled tomato, I think.
Are you a gravy man with your steak, or do you?
Don't be so silly. Gravy and steak. You might as well use ice cream.
I've just lost my stream momentarily. We're back now. What about a nice sauce or anything with it, or you just have it plain?
If I could be bothered to make a sauce, then yeah, a bit of pepper or Diane sauce maybe.
There you go. That's what I'm thinking of.
But no, I can't bother to make it.
Can't be bothered.
At least with a steak, you just sling it on the grill. Or how I like my steak, you introduce it to the grill, don't you? You're like, hello grill, hello steak, how you doing? Acquaint yourselves, thank you, you know.
Back to the game. We've just seen Jamie Vardy nearly score.
Yes,
Lucas Fabianski's made a really, really good save. Vardy bursted into the box on the left-hand side, pretty much shot straight at Fabianski, spread himself well to deny the veteran Leicester striker and keep West Ham in the game. Again, not for the first time. Fabianski keeping West Ham in the game this afternoon. Rob Waldron says, I've ordered a kebab to cheer myself up. I have more chance of having Jennifer Aniston delivering it than us winning today.
He might be lucky. There is a Polish girl that comes around here whenever we work, sometimes when a kebab's ordered or something from, or we order from Uber. She's actually quite amusing. She's very funny.
Awesome.
Sounds like when she speaks, she sounds like she's on fast forwards. Oh, Skamack! Oh! I actually moved with excitement for the first time in a game. After 73 minutes. Benny's had a bit of a storm that day, hasn't he?
Who? Sorry?
Benny.
Sorry? Yeah.
I think he's
where are you on your stream? Nick, where are you right now?
73-22.
All right, I think we're pretty much... I have a stream that's miles behind and one that's pretty much with you. Although I'm having a bit of trouble. I'm having a bit of trouble with the stream this afternoon. So it's over to you, Nick.
Looks like we should have a corner there. Right, Fornells is coming on. So he's going to get 15 minutes. I just don't get it. I don't get why he leaves it so late. And he's coming up with Souček.
18 minutes or so, West Ham pressing Leicester.
Well, that's a little bit of a surprise. It's a positive sub from David Moyes. All right, probably 20 odd minutes, wrong way round. Probably 20 minutes too late. But it's a positive one nonetheless.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Or so, Jack.
Time is beginning to run out though. We're nearly up to 75 minutes.
Yeah.
Should we have a quick look at the rest of the Premier League? What's going on? But there was a very big shock at in Manchester at lunchtime. Man City beaten at home by Brentford by 2 goals to 1.
Bournemouth,
Bournemouth
are absolutely stuffing Everton 3-0.
Indeed, they is.
Liverpool beating Southampton 3-1. Forest are winning against Palace. So if they remain how it is, we're just 1 point off the drop zone now. Tottenham are losing 3-2 to Leeds. Nobody likes to see that. That's one of those games that you wrote they both lose.
yeah, you wouldn't mind if both got beat there, would you? It's surprise.
Obviously, us losing against Leicester. Now, where's the as it stands again? Where's the as it stands table? See, that's not a good result for us involving Leeds and Bournemouth.
No, not really.
You know, it's again now. Sadly, our direct rivals at the bottom. You know, if we could be above Leeds, Bournemouth, Villa if we won this game, and Leicester. You know, but instead we're below them all.
Yeah. In that live league table, we would be 16th as things stand. Only Everton separating West Ham from the bottom 3 right now. Not good at all. Not good. And of course, we'd slip further away behind Leicester, who had basically no points for the first 2 months of the season. But where are we? 77 minutes, Nick?
Getting that way, 76-12 for me.
Yeah, we're pretty much bang on the same time right now. So time beginning to run out. But as you said, 4-0 is on for Souček. Vardy's making a complete nuisance of himself in attack. And
they certainly nullified us, didn't they, with those subs?
Barnes has just scored. It's 2-0.
2-0.
That's game over.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just talking about West Ham potentially getting back into the game, and Harvey Barnes, one of their shining lights, has doubled the advantage, and that I'm afraid to say is good night as far as getting a result here goes. I'm just waiting to. Stream's gone down again, Nick. I'll come over to you for a report on that goal.
You're right. It is good night, and do you know what? I think I've seen enough now. I think it should be good night, David Moyes, and give these players the 5 weeks of the World Cup, because we've only got 4 going, to actually learn how to play together. Because you can't keep putting it down to bad luck and whatnot. The league table tells its own story. After 15 games, we're at the bottom. We're 1 point off of the relegation places.
Yep, it's not good.
It's
not good at all.
Again, you can point to all the luck and stuff we've had over the previous seasons, and I totally understand and appreciate what you're saying about Moyes has got credit in the bank. But this is shocking.
The goals actually come from a Pablo Fornals mistake. He's tried to find Tilo Kehrer out on the right wing. It's intercepted, and bang, bang, 2 touches. It's through to Harvey Barnes. Lucas Fabianski's come roaring out of his goal, which is most unlike him and unnecessary. And again, you're looking at individual mistakes here. Fabianski's been absolutely exceptional this afternoon, but I'm not sure he needed to be there. Gerd was
comedy of errors.
Yeah, it's just it's panic at the LOS, and the fans beginning to stream out. Obviously, seen enough. Can't blame them at all, given that West Ham are pretty much on their way to yet another defeat. David Moyes looks pretty distraught, and we're just seeing a shot of David Sullivan. There he is, David and young Jack. Dave Sullivan's doing a bit of this, and Jack's just looking at his phone thinking, I don't want to be here, because we know what's going to come in the car park on the way out. But it's 79 minutes gone, and it's pretty much game over as far as West Ham are concerned.
Won't even look like scoring, really.
No, couple of half chances in the second half.
Over the bar, and with the R, where we haven't managed to get on the end of something or whatever. But let's be real, we ain't looked like scoring in a million years. We could kick this game off again, and I'd say we'd still have the same. So, no, get my teeth in. We'd still have the same scoreline.
The quick look at the stats where we are at the moment, coming into the final 10 minutes of the game. West Ham 53% possession to Leicester's 47. It was the other way around at half time. Leicester had 53 to West Ham's 47. We've just seen a West Ham fan. What's he doing now? Right, we've just seen a West Ham fan in the crowd. He's taken his shirt off and he's waving it in the air, presumably at the bench. Not quite sure what that's signifying, but maybe he's just getting behind the team. Maybe he's just backing the side while everyone else is cheering. But West Ham,
he's having a good time. I bet he was in the toilets at half time.
yes. One or two of those probably were. West Ham 14 shots so far, only 4 on target. Leicester 9 shots, 6 on target. West Ham 4 corners, Leicester 2 as we go into the final 10 minutes. Lucas Paqueta looking pretty disillusioned with life in East London, as we all are at the moment. It's not good for West Ham out there. None of the players. Spurs are 4-3 up. Deal's just we've lost Deal momentarily. Spurs have turned their game around. They're 4-3 up. They were 3-2 down at home to Leeds, and they're winning, which is just what we want to see. Did you get that, Nick? We lost you for a second there. Spurs.
No, I had to deal with child.
Okay.
He was being a pain in the backside.
Yes. Tottenham ahead. Having been 3-2
No.
down. Yeah, now 4-3 up.
That sounds like a stonking game, though.
It does actually. Rodrigo Bentancur scored in the 81st and 83rd minute after Leeds had taken the lead in the 76th minute to go 3-2 up. It was 1-0 at half time. Lots of goals coming in the second half there. Lucas Fabianski with the ball, rolls it out short to Declan Rice, who, Craven Moorhead says, what a waste of Declan Rice's last season. He could be relegated and get a top move. Imagine his price tag when we go into the Championship. 82 minutes gone. West Ham United 0, Leicester City 2. Haven't been beaten by Leicester, have we, in our last 4 games? Got a pretty decent recent record against them. 3 wins and a draw in our last 4 outings. But looks like the tide has turned today. We've got a corner anyway. Gianluca Scamacca trying a speculative effort from the edge of the box, and it's just cannoned off a defender and gone out for a corner. This one will be an Aaron Cresswell dead ball, no doubt. Indeed it is. You're just waiting for this one to come in. Another match of the day ruined, says AGXM. I don't think I've seen it at all this season, got to say. Cresswell delivers. Ward punches out on to Bowen at the edge of the box, keeps it alive, plays it out to side Benrahma on the left-hand side. Benrahma to Cresswell. Now, can Cresswell get across in? Indeed he can. Declan Rice gets ahead on it, puts it into the mix. This is dangerous. Jarrod Bowen gets a header. Also looks like he gets an elbow in his ear hole or on the top of his head for good measure. But Danny Ward's able to collect the ball. Let's have another look at this. See what happens here. I think it's a Gerd actually who's got there. Oh yeah, Bowen's got to the ball ahead of the number 27 Castagna, and Castagna's actually just headed the top of Bowen's head. Nasty those ones, Nick. Painful.
Yeah. He's not had a good day, has he, Bowen?
He's not, as he's been in the wars. That's at least 3 times he's been walloped. No, not worked for him today at all, is it?
No, not worked for us at all either, is it, really?
No, really hasn't. Really hasn't. Just really running out of time now. It's just waiting for the clock to wind itself down. David Moyes, hands in pockets, got a bit of an angry face on him. Not sure if he's angry with the players or himself, but the fans are absolutely streaming out in.
Well, and that's the thing, isn't it? You know, there's something that, you know, we maybe leave. What was it? 12 minutes before the end. Players streaming out. The ball would have seen that. Because it's like the fans have given up. Because we could still, you know, we could still draw level on this. We're not going to, but you know, with 12 minutes left, the game ain't over. And as Terminator on the forum has said, such a shame, but it looks like he's flat out done. Looks like he's lost the dressing room, the fans, and surely now his job. I don't think surely his job's right. but it's what it's looking like, that he has lost the dressing room and the fans. And once you do that, there's no way back.
Yeah, I'm not sure about it. I wouldn't agree that he's lost the dressing room. I mean, it's a bit of a cliche, isn't it? And the only people that are really going to know are the players inside the inside the club. But clearly, whatever they're doing isn't working. Whether that's one and the same thing, we don't know. We've just seen a yellow card issue to Gianluca Scamacca. He looks very, very frustrated out there. I'm not quite sure what he's done there. It's almost as if he's grabbed the substitute. I think it's indeed he's tried to pull his ears back as he's running away from him. Bit of a strange challenge, but another yellow card for West Ham. Where are we, Nick, on that? Is that the third today?
Fourth,
fourth. We've Dawson went in the book, Paqueta for the foul and Samare. I think that was it before, so that would be 3, unless there's another one I've missed, which is quite possible. But a strange one nonetheless. But yeah, just an indication of the frustration the players are feeling, I think. But one thing's for sure, it looks like we've got a record number of people predicting the right result today on the stream. Nobody, I don't think, went for a West Ham win, did they?
None at all.
So well done, I suppose, to everybody who was correctly predicted the result.
Didn't need to be Nostradamus, though, did you? Let's be honest.
No, you didn't. No, not at all. Well, I've just seen a cross coming from Declan Rice. He sort of whipped one in from about 25 yards out from the left of the penalty box across the area. He's actually looking for Bowen's head. Bowen's missed it, and it's almost crept in at the far post. I think Ward must have got a touch on it just to tip it around the post, because it's a corner, which Bowen's going to take, and he delivers into the box.
Yeah, good
and
save.
Yet again, yeah, it's clear. And do you know what? Actually, it's Face. The thing is Belgian international. I think he's going to Qatar. He's been an absolute rock at the back for Leicester this afternoon. Shades of Sideshow Bob, you might say, from The Simpsons with that haircut.
Yes, indeed.
But he's been absolutely phenomenal for Leicester today. I understand he's been playing very well for them, and quite a lot of their resurgence has been put down to him, but he certainly had a decent game today.
Oh, my God. Who's that? Kera?
Fornals plays it out to Ben Rama. We've just seen a Ben Rama moment. Got the ball in a good position, cut in from the left into the box. Are you there yet, Nick? Have you seen it? 87.
Yeah. By the corner flag.
One of them. And this is so frustrating about Ben Rama, isn't it? He's clearly got ability. For every good thing he does, you see something like that. I can understand really why he kind of divides opinion in a way.
Yes.
Anyway, he's had a full. He's going to get a full 90 today. One would assume. What do you make of his performance today?
Who's that?
Ben Rama.
I thought he's been, not that it's saying much, I think he's probably been our best player, in all honesty.
Been lively.
Yeah. He's the only one that looks like something may happen. But then if you dress up a dog as a duck, that looks like a duck as well. So it may not mean anything.
Now, Bowen's into the box. It's a really dangerous position. Oh, you've got to score from there. You've got to score. Bowen, it's a great ball from Paqueta into the right channel for Bowen to chase onto. He's got to the byline, pulled it back for Scamacca. There's no movement from the Italian. And his shot is easily blocked. It's out for a corner. But we've got to be scoring from chances like that. This is...
I don't know. He had 2 defenders on him.
But there's no movement. As a striker, you've got to, know... Drop deep, make the run late. He's static in the box. You're not going to score from those positions.
And the corner don't clear the first man.
And it doesn't clear the first man. Yet again. Deja vu, Nick. It seems like we've been here every week, mate, this season.
Yep.
Anyway, we're in the 90th minute. Nick's having a good puff.
I've got no fingernails left. So that's why I've been stuck on the table all afternoon.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, at least we can laugh about it anyway. I'm not sure we'll be laughing if we're in the same position in about 6 months' time. But
No.
Plenty of football to play
But
between
to
now
be
and
honest, if we are in this position 6 months' time, in the 16th, then we've scraped through by the skin of our teeth. So, you know, we might well be laughing in 6 months' time.
Well, yeah, true. Yeah. I do you know what? I really thought I'm not expect, as I said, I'm not expecting West Ham to finish in the top 6 or 7 every week. Well, Skamaka's just had a shot. Excuse me. Received the ball at his feet, back to goal, 17 yards from goal, managed to turn and get a shot away, but it's just rolled through to the goalkeeper. We've got 4 minutes added on. I'm not expecting West Ham to finish 6th or 7th every season, but by God, I didn't think we'd be sitting here at Christmas potentially facing another relegation battle.
No, I don't think anyone did they? It's not good. It's not good, is it? And, you know, bear in mind, normally, you know, halfway is round about Boxing Day. It's going to be slightly different this year. We're going to be 4 games behind before we get to Boxing Day. Come on. Nah.
Yeah, nice season one. Of course, come back. So.
This is a strong squad that they've got. Going into this to be performing better.
Sorry, Nick. Sorry, I didn't mean to jump over you there.
No, that's all right. I'm just browsing the forum.
Yeah, Arsenal, of course, the league leaders coming up in our next fixture. Right, it's a while from now, but
who are playing tonight, and amazingly could have a 5-point lead at the top of the table. Can't happen, can it? They'll be insufferable. It seems I know more Arsenal fans than anyone else, and they're just posh Spurs fans, aren't they? Let's be honest.
I have one in my. I've actually got 2 in my family. If you count the boy, one of the daughter's boyfriends, and one of them
allowed that to happen.
Well, what can you do? What can you do? One of them popped over, not that one. The other one popped over today and said, "Oh, I hear Arsenal are doing very well." Well, that's funny. I've not heard you mention Arsenal for about 6 months. Typical, eh? Typical. My stream has followed the fans away from the game, says Hobo. Yeah, mine too, Hobo.
Yeah, well, it's 4 minutes at a time. We're 2 minutes into it. No, what can you say? What can you say? It's a masochism at its finest. Sadomasochism by continuing to watch.
Yep. And as you rightly pointed out, the results elsewhere are really, I mean, I hate to be in this situation, but the results elsewhere amongst the teams in and around us are not going our way. Forest are beating Palace. Brentford may be a little bit away from us at the moment, one at Man City. Bournemouth are winning. And of course, Leicester are winning, in case you hadn't guessed. At least Leeds are losing. But they're losing to Tottenham, so that doesn't count.
No.
I think I'd rather Leeds be winning today, but anyway, there you go.
And that's it. That is. No, it's not. It's all right. I got a vibration on my phone thinking it was the West Ham app saying it was game over. No, not quite.
Barnes.
Oh, hello. No, didn't reach him. So I thought Thornhill was going to break down on the right hand side, but no.
Well, that is game
we've
over.
got a free kick, which has been taken quickly. It's with Declan Rice, who's played it to Kera. Not Kera, who's in New Black Nathan. Ben Rama. Cresswell, all down the left at the moat. Back to Kera. Hoist tries to hoist it over. Skamaka can't reach it, can't jump high enough. It was a bit high, to be fair, a bit of a hospital ball. And Leicester are now coming towards their goal again. Oh no, they're about the halfway line. Now they're over on our right. They're right even. And to top it off, now the Leicester fans are giving the Olays.
Oh, lovely. What a lovely day.
Yeah.
It's all over. I can tell you that. It's finished. It's all over at the London Stadium. It's finished. West Ham United 0, Leicester 2. It just caps off what's been a pretty crap weekend for if you're a West Ham and England supporter of various sports this weekend. Of course, the women lost the rugby final this morning, 32-29, I think it was, despite leading for probably 70, 80, 90% of the game even. The men's team have just been beaten by Samoa in the semi-finals, in the Rugby League semi-final. I think Samoa nicked it at the end as well, and West Ham have been beaten, you've got to say, fairly comfortably by Leicester at the London Olympic Stadium this afternoon. The stats might suggest otherwise, but of course, they tell a completely different story to what we've just seen unfurl in front of our eyes. West Ham finished the game with 54% possession to Leicester's 46. 18 shots for West Ham, 6 on target, but Danny Ward never really troubled. Leicester 9 shots, 6 on target. West Ham 7 corners, didn't manage to make anything from any of them. Leicester 2. What now for David Moyes, Nick?
P45, mate. Because I'm seeing no signs. I'm seeing absolutely no signs of improvement. If there was that little glimmer, I'd be like, yeah, let him have until after the World Cup, let him turn it round. But it seems to be getting worse rather than the opposite direction. And, you know, I'm not one that's all... I've never been one, Sack. You've seen the arguments I used to have on the forum with people advocating sacking who've... And I can't remember the managers we've had, actually. I think it started off with Zola. Yeah, I lost the plot with him a bit because that was probably more to do with the Chelsea connection than anything. But then Grant tried to defend him and kind of lost out, which is fair enough. Oh, and then, yeah, and everyone since, really, I've ended up having battles with. But I suppose as I've got older, bearing in mind, 2008 is 14 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
What a waste of life. And, and yeah, it's just, I think it's because of previous battles. I don't think I've even got to fight him in there. I'm seeing nothing. I'm seeing a big fat zero of signs of improvement, and we seems to be going worse. Now, AGM's dropped a nice little bomb there. She'd take Vieira. I don't think our supporters would, though, because of the Arsenal connection. Oh, look, apparently we're just as boring as the KUMB forum. Congrats. That's all right, mate. You don't have to hang about. It's fine. Just giving an honest assessment. You know, one thing we do not do is become an echo chamber. We have opinions.
See ya. Yes, of course, we're all welcome. Well, most anyway. Yours isn't, so you can do one. But yeah, it's been a very disappointing day for West Ham this afternoon, going down 2-0 at home to Leicester. Of course, a quick look at the league table means that that defeat leaves West Ham 16th at the table and just 1 point above the bottom three. Wins for Nottingham Forest today and Bournemouth. Bournemouth back up above West Ham. Forest now just a point behind the Hammers, who after 15 games have won 4, drawn 2, lost 9, scored 12 goals in 15 games, conceded only 17, which isn't that bad, -5 goal difference. But Nick scored 12 goals in 15 games. What's going on?
We're not very good. People don't seem to know what they're doing. Players are left isolated. Individual mistakes. Confidence is extremely low. That's what I think is going on. There is something drastically wrong somewhere behind the scenes. Because we look a shadow of our former self, of a team that played with its tail up, with confidence and fight. It's like we've given up.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, we're gonna ask for the opinions of someone else, someone who was at the game today, who hopefully we're going to be getting on in just a second or two. Young Gnome is going to be joining us, one of the 60,000 or so disappointed souls currently streaming out of Stratford on the way back to their homes, and their home counties, and wherever in the city. Just waiting for Gnome to get on, but he'll be sharing his views with us anyway. Let us know what you thought of the game in the comments. I mean, you know, we're all pretty much, I think, singing from the same hymn sheet in terms of our views on West Ham's performance today. Just not good enough as it's been for the rest of the season. We're just we're gonna make a bit of a there he is. We're gonna just have to shuffle over a bit, Nick. So bear with me, team, while I just make a couple of adjustments. I'm gonna have to come over this side a little bit. So I'm gonna make room, and Nick, I'm gonna shuffle you off to that side as well. In fact, I'm gonna swap us over actually. You're there you go. You can go that side, and I'm gonna go. Hang on a second. Sorry for all this movement you're seeing on the screen. It's going to work out. It's going to look good in a minute. Just bear with me for a second. Noam, can you hear us?
Yeah, hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me? Okay.
You can hear us. Good. Yeah, yes. We can. We got you. Great. There you are, coming up on the stream. Just see your head. There you go. That's better. We've got you now. But why is it been on my
all right, but hang on. Oh, mate, I've just twisted my ankle.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, hang on. We've got a situation live on the stream.
It's the ball rather than anything else. You leave that on the floor, mate. I've got it. I'll just go.
We ain't going to rob you or anything.
I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Oh, hello. Who's that?
Take your time.
Noam seems to have had a touch of the Sarah Bowens today.
Thanks.
All right.
Yeah, silly, mate.
Just
embarrassed.
No,
that's the thing, mate. Thanks, guys. Yeah, but don't be silly.
I'm pissed, but who gives
a fuck? Is that staying Karen Booth?
No idea what's going on. Noam's
actually, no, who's that? That's Graham Howlett.
Put some weight on it.
Yeah, it's all right. Fine.
Is it?
Yeah. Cheers. Thanks, guys. Okay, I'm here, guys.
Right?
Sorry about
you okay? Oh, we're sitting there worrying what's going on. All right.
Yeah, there's a sort of crack in the pavement gave way under my foot, and I went base over apex. And I haven't had a drink yet. I haven't had a drink yet either.
Do you know? And every moment of it was recorded for posterity on this live stream.
How annoying!
Watch it again when you get home.
I feel a compensation claim coming on.
Well, at least you can prove it happened. Nick, you've got some questions for Noam. Kick us off.
How's your angle?
Yeah, it's all right. The other ones have been playing me up all week, but you can't live with both of them. So yeah, I'm all right.
Yeah. So was it as bad in the ground as it was on this iffy stream, which was actually quite good quality actually?
I don't know. I mean, I just thought we've been sort of. It's one of those things we never learn. Sort of a sucker punch, really. I reckon we created about 9 or 10 good chances there, and if you don't put one of those 9 or 10 away, you don't deserve to get anything out of the game. Simple as that. It was a little bit like the Blackburn game. There was all sorts of possession and chances and stuff like that, and we end up losing. They came and did a job on us. Wasn't pretty to watch. I'd hate to watch that every week if I was a Leicester fan. Sorry, Stephanie, but they came for a point and managed to. We gave them 3. Very depressing.
Yeah, certainly was. And
then of course I fall over live on a stream. Yeah.
That might be one of the greatest moments of Eyes Up Mother Brown. That would certainly be going in the
ever. Yeah. Yeah. So apart from that, I'm having a good day.
I've just seen a tweet that says that Bowen spends more time on the floor now. I guess we could apply that to you, Noam, as well, couldn't we? To be fair. No, I'm sorry. I'm being harsh. Sorry. I hope you're all right. I hope you're okay.
Yeah, mine was genuine, though. I mean, a couple of times it just doesn't take people on down the line anymore, does it? And when we did, we get chances. And yet, if we can see that, why doesn't it occur to people actually doing it? Oh, nearly scored a goal there. Let's try that again. Then. Why not?
In terms of, are there any positives we can take from this Noam looking back? Fabianski, I suppose, making a fantastic save, but is there anything, it's slim pickings, isn't it, today?
Positive to come out of it. We ain't got played till after Christmas. So, you know, okay, players are away for World Cup and all that, but it's a sort of situation where you want a break, don't you? You don't want to be playing next week. You know, because frankly, I don't want to be going to watch it next week, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I
You know,
get that. I get that.
I'm glad we got a break now. You know, I mean, I've got one twisted ankle. I've got one arthritic one that's been playing up all week. And I've got to walk for miles around this place. You know, I'm glad there ain't a game this week because I'd probably go, but you know, I'd be thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'd go because I'm stupid. I'm sort of stupid idiot who falls over on his way back from the ground without having had a drink.
Doesn't even suffer the pain. Listen, Nick and I were having quite a lengthy debate about David Moyes throughout the game. Nick, do you want to fill Nomin from where we're coming from on that right now?
Yeah, well, where I'm coming from, I think that maybe now his time is up, but where the form has been so bad for so long, not just this season. And whilst I understand the nuances of last season being quite a unique situation, he made the choice not to bring anyone in January just so that we weren't as burnt out as we were at the end of last season. But this season, there's been glimmers of hope, but over quite a sustained period now, there doesn't seem to be any signs of improvement. And he's just trying the same thing time and time and time again, and it's not working. And today I saw a David Moyes side that didn't look like a David Moyes side at all. There seems to be no fight. There seems to be no desire, no extra yard because you want to get that ball. And it just looks like it isn't now a manager that is on borrowed time. It doesn't look like the players are playing for him. They look headless. They look lost. But they don't know what they're actually supposed to be doing apart from playing football, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are you saying, Nick? Oh, manager. Yeah. I'm guessing, Graham, your point was that he's got enough in the bank for the time being.
Yeah, basically, we were coming from a different side of the fence, but agreeing on quite a lot of it. But essentially, that we were just really interested. I mean, you've got the deciding vote here today. Where do you stand at the moment?
I'm beginning to lose my patience with him. I don't think I'm quite far as down the road as Nick is, but something's got to change. I mean, you saw that match, 90 minutes plus, and if you were the manager, would you think that more than one substitution was needed? Nothing was changing, and it was one change, and ironically, I thought that was one of Souček's better games today. In terms of breaking stuff up, some of the passing was a little bit woeful, but then he wasn't alone in that. Bowen's the big disappointment for me, and I think that's possibly the big issue, if you like, because whereas we had attacking intent down the right hand side, at the moment, sorry, across the road, getting run over. At the moment, Bowen is the place where our attacks go to die.
Yeah.
And
So you a stick or twist? I mean, at the end of that, not right now. You think stay for now?
Well, I'm wondering just how much the current owners are interested in this, because the signs are pointing towards March, and I think that's the point at which things can change. Mm-hmm. So I guess it depends on Mr. K and what he wants, but certainly, the owners can't be happy with the way things are. I mean, what are we 1 point off the bottom three at the moment after that? I haven't seen the other results, so, but you know, we can't be happy with that. I mean, the European sort of record is giving him.
Oh, no one's having a disco by the sounds of it.
Yes, he's going to do his ankle again.
No, never dances. Many have
Not
tried
today.
to dance. Not ever. It's the running thing. My beloved said, "Oh, we'll have a dance sometime." No, never. So, but Darcy buses, I think, filling her own taxi too. So I should go dance. So right. Anyway, but yeah. Yeah, I mean, the European record is taking a little bit of the eye off. But of course, now he hasn't even got that to look at because we've got the situation with the break and everything. So I think that's just going to fester for a while. The point is, if he's going to go, he's got to go tonight, really, hasn't he? Because otherwise, you can't sort of leave it till after Christmas. Because there's nothing gone wrong in between now and then. You can't sack somebody on the basis of a friendly at Fulham, or Cambridge. But yeah, I think what will happen is that Boxing Day's Arsenal, isn't it? Yeah, we'll go sort of a game or two in January, and then if nothing sort of nothing seems to be changing, we'll have a look at somebody who's available.
All right. Okay. All right. Well, we are gonna wrap up there. I think
I'm going to go and get on the train.
You've got to go. I've got to go and write some content. You've got to go and cook a steak, and you've probably got to go and visit A&E by the sounds of things.
No, I'm going to go to visit my beloved, who's also got a dodgy ankle. So
coming out in sympathy.
I outrank her now. I've got two. But yeah. Oh well. Anyway, because we won't be on here until Boxing Day. Just wish everybody who bothers to watch it on these things.
No, we will. We're doing the World Cup. We're doing the World Cup now, man.
Oh, are we? Oh, okay.
Have you not received the email?
Yeah, you probably try to keep me off it.
Nick, you're coming for some World Cup Eyes Up Mother Browning, aren't you?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Because of my feelings on the World Cup and my self-imposed boycott of it, I think that would be somewhat hypocritical of me.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll see. Well, I'll be here anyway, and hopefully Nick will be a hypocrite for a bit, and we can get him on and know him as well, and perhaps one of the other two chaps as well. But
I'll come for comedy value if I don't have to watch the games.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, it might be better actually. It might be better for you. But, so, am I getting paid the same as Gary Neville is for this?
Well, I don't know about that.
Have I got to write to the Qatari government?
Yes.
To tell them here are my principles, but if you give me enough money, I have others.
Yeah. Yes. Basically, I think that's what it works out to. For as far as West Ham are concerned, anyway, only 2 games left now in 2022. Here it is. Arsenal away on Boxing Day, nice easy over the Hammers, and then we're at home to Brentford on the 30th of December. That was, of course, when Manuel Pellegrini managed his final game for West Ham. Around that time, 3 years ago, David Moyes came in, of course. Could history be back to for Mr. Moyes be getting the tin tack at Christmas before, or are the ball going to stick with him into the new year? We're all going to find out very soon. Anyway, it's been a desperately disappointing day for West Ham today, beaten by Leicester 2-0 at the London Olympic Stadium. Goals coming from James Maddison in the 9th minute. And Harvey Barnes in the 78th minute. Of course, it could have been even worse if Lucas Fabianski hadn't saved a penalty from Yuri Tielemans in the 41st minute. West Ham, terrible really today. Didn't really produce a lot. 18 shots, only 4 on target though, Nick. Not a lot for us to cheer, mate, was there today?
Oh, really?
No, not really. Not at all. Not at all. In fact.
Story of our season.
Yeah, yeah, indeed it is. I think that's a perfect way to end. It has. It really encapsulated the entire season in one game this afternoon. Big problems for David Moyes. Will he be here when we're on next? We'll find out very soon, won't we? Until then, take care of yourself, my friends. We will see you very soon for a bit of World Cup football anyway. Come and join us on Eyes Up Mother Brown and
the lift up service. I'll hobble upstairs.
Yes. See if England can give us. Oh, don't forget, I was saying about the World Cup rugby. Women lost, men lost today. West Ham lost today. We've got the cricket in the morning, no?
Yeah,
must have chances there, mustn't we?
They were good the other day, weren't they? I must admit. But hey, yeah, no, England against we were good against India.
Unbelievable.
Was, yeah. I was working from home out in the background, and it's going to be a good one. I'll be watching that.
Yep. Nick, are you a cricket man? Do you watch the cricket at all?
Only when it's Essex.
Well,
if I remember,
I think it's an early one.
Sometimes I've got Sky Sports, and yet it's not something I ever think of watching.
Well, have a look tomorrow. If you're up early, put it on. It's a 7 a.m. start, isn't it?
I think 8 o'clock is the actual match start.
Okay, 8 o'clock start. There you go, Nick. Nice and early.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Bit of breakfast.
I think when I do watch the cricket, I remember why I don't, because it's boring as hell. But it's T20, isn't it?
T20, which is a bit more.
Yeah, that's a bit more exciting. Yeah. I don't mind going to live cricket. I've been to Chelmsford quite a bit.
Yeah.
Because it's a good day out in the summer, and you just slowly snuzzle.
Yeah.
And then you stand up and fall over.
Yeah, it's a bit like Gnome, actually. Sort of.
I
should say, mate, I do. All joking aside, and we have had a bit of a laugh at expense. I do hope you're all right, because it did look like quite a nasty ball. So make sure you're all right when you get in, and get a bowl of ice or something around it, take it up.
Will do.
Anyway, that's it from us today. From me, Nick and Gnome. Thanks to you guys for joining us on the live stream down there, posting your comments. You've got a few more seconds in to get one in if you like. Give us a thumbs up if you haven't already down there. All helps the show. We'll be back with West Ham Eyes Up Mother Brown on Boxing Day. Before then, of course, we are, as I said earlier, we're going to cover some World Cup stuff for you. So come and join us and have a bit of fun. Until then, till we see you next time, take care, everyone. Look after yourselves, and come on, you.